You know the Bundestag, the Reichstag in Berlin, the new German government is built inside the ruins of the old version.
Right.
And their symbolism was the old version was the corrupt version, which brought us German nationalism, which brought us Nazism, which brought us this.
Yeah.
Rather than get rid of that, they built this structure inside that reflected their values as the new Germany,
Right.
as say, you got to live the metaphor. This is who we are trying to be within the shell of what we don't want to be. And you wonder if you could go here, if I said, I'm going to cut you down, I'm only going to give you 100 million, and you can't tear the building down, what would you do?
To this space?
Yeah.
I can't tear the building down. What would I do to this space?
You can tear out some of the insides.
Okay, well, I would tear out some of the insides. I would make it so that you could use the studio in the round easily, where it had robotic seats so that you could put it like that.
Okay, so I'm taking you back. I'm cutting you down.
Okay.
I'm only going to give you 100 million.
Okay.
What you cannot do is take down the exterior building, but
Right.
you're allowed to change interior if you want.
Right.
What would you do?
I would, okay, there's a couple things I would do. One of the things I would make the studio much more easily and mechanically configurable, like the bleachers. So they have like mechanical bleachers, so you could, or just bleachers that would take you a half day to reconfigure into the round or to whichever configuration you want. The second thing I would do is I would build a studio space, like a black box, just for experimental stuff, just for like an atelier. They used to have the atelier,
Right.
and they sold it in the 90s. And now it's a theater in East Ottawa there, just over by the east of the market. I forget the name of it. It's a French theater now. But they used to have an atelier space that was outside of the NAC
Right.
that didn't have it didn't have the same constraints with crews and things like that.
Are we going to have to stop?
That's gonna make it. That's a hard cut, right?
Sorry.
Sorry.
I thought we had this space.
So they did have an atelier and they sold it. What regime was it sold under?
In the 90s.
When they had no money whatsoever?
no money.
They were going down the road. They're going down the tubes.
Yeah, it's gonna be the same way in 2 years. PP
He's on it right
and
now.
Pierre Poilievre gets in power. They're gonna cut everything. But yeah, they used to have the atelier, and so I long for that kind of flexible space that you don't have the same crew expenses. You can be more experimental. You could like workshop things because it's a really contested space for time.
Right.
Like for schedules. Like it's
So
incredible.
you'd have your own atelier.
Yeah.
So you don't have to work out with the other two things.
Yeah.